Konnichiwa minasan, and welcome to the class in the second lecture series on Introduction to Japanese Language and Culture. In our last class we did to, and I hope that I was able to clear all your doubts regarding to. There were a lot of things we could not complete in our last lesson, so we are going to do it here in this lesson. Now, as I always do, we are first going to listen to a short kaiwa and then see what is new in this lesson also.
すみません。この機械の使い方を教えてくれませんか？
ごめんなさい。これの使い方はラオさんしかわからないので、ラオさんに聞いてみてください。
ラオさんはどこですか？
隣の部屋だと思います。
あら、すみませんけど、ラオさんはそこにいません。
ああ、そう。事務室にいるかもしれない。
ありがとう。行ってみます。
So, this was the kaiwa we were doing last time. I will just quickly read it. This is a kaiwa between A-san and B-san. So, すみません。この機械の使い方を教えてくれませんか？ごめんなさい。これの使い方はラオさんしかわからないので、ラオさんに聞いてね。informal. And ラオさんに聞いてください。polite. You can have rising intonation and you can have a flat intonation as well. Rao-san ni kiite kudasai. Please ask Rao-san. Then tsukai kata I already told you, way of doing a certain activity, method basically, or manner. So, Rao-san wa doko desu ka? We know doko is a question word for where. Then tonari no heya desu, that is room next to this one, the next room. And if you remember, we did this in the beginning, tonari no heya desu means he is in the next room and not Rao-san is tonari no heya, that he is the room itself. So, please remember this. Sumimasen kedo, Rao-san wa soko ni imasen. A-san went over there, looked in the room, could not find him, now he is back, he is asking again, sumimasen kedo, but Rao-san wa soko ni imasen, he is not over there. Ah, so, is that so? Ja, jimushitsu ni iru kamoshirenai. Jimushitsu is the office, ni iru. Imasu, plain form iru. Kamoshirenai, this is what we are going to do today. And arigato itte mimasu. Now, there are a few kanjis over here. Tsukaimasu is there, tsukaikata, then oshieru, tsukau, wakaranai or bun, kikimasu, omoimasu, heya and iku. So, this you do not have to do kyoshitsu, it is not required. We will see what is new over here. So, well, there was a word kamoshiremasen or kamoshirenai. So, what does it mean? Basic meaning is may or may not. Now, what does that mean? That the probability of accuracy predicted by a kamoshirenai sentence is only 50%. That whatever the sentence is saying, whatever is the speaker saying, it may or may not happen. It is only 50% positive and 50% negative. So, basically when you are not sure, you guess, and also if you remember, we have studied masho form. This kamoshirenai is quite similar to masho form. The important thing over here to remember is that verb is in plain form before kamoshirenai. Now, how is it done? Well, you can see over here iku ikanai, itta ikanakatta, kamoshirenai. This is may or may not. So, now the probability of something happening will increase if you use this part, verb in plain form. If you use verb in negative form, then the possibility of not happening is more. Another very important thing with kamoshirenai is that this does not change. There is nothing as kamoshiremas, nothing as that. There is only this form kamoshirenai. You have to remember this. So, well, let us see some sentences and I am sure you will be able to understand it more from there. So, ashita ame ga furu kamoshirenai. It might rain tomorrow, or furanai kamoshirenai. It may not rain tomorrow. So, you will notice that before kamoshirenai, verb is in plain form. So, this is it may rain, it may not rain. Then we have kotoshi no fuyu wa samuku naru kamoshirenai. It might become cold. I am not very sure about it. I cannot say because it has not happened. You are just predicting. So, kotoshi no fuyu wa samuku naru narimasu. If you say, then it is 100%. Kotoshi no fuyu wa samuku narimasu. So, you know it is going to be very cold, which of course is very difficult to predict. So, kotoshi no fuyu wa samuku naru kamoshirenai. If you put to omoimasu over here, then I think it is going to become very cold. If you put mas form over here, then it is 100% it is going to be like this, and if you put kamoshirenai, then it is 50% yes and 50% no. If it is in the negative, kotoshi no fuyu wa samuku naranai, it will not be cold. Kotoshi no fuyu wa samuku naranai to omoimasu. I think it will not be cold this winter. And if I say kotoshi no fuyu wa samuku naranai kamoshirenai, so I am not sure at all. I am just saying it might be cold, it may not be cold, but the possibility, the probability of it not being cold is more, because there is a negative over here. Kamoshirenai, you will see, has not changed at all. This does not change the meaning. The meaning comes from here, probability is from here. So, I have more sentences for you so that you feel more comfortable using kamoshirenai. Kaigi wa mou sugu hajimaru kedo, Rao-san wa mada desu ne. So, kaigi is going to start, begin very soon, and Rao-san is not here as yet. So, everybody is worried obviously. And then kare wa kaigi no koto wasureta kamoshirenai. So, somebody is just saying, standing over there, maybe he has forgotten about the kaigi completely. Wasureta, past tense, kamoshirenai. So, you saw over there in the previous slide, it is iku, ikanai, itta and ikanakatta. So, these two we did last time, this is over here, wasureta kamoshirenai, past tense. So, well, there is another one over here. Rao-san, ashita no party ni ikimasu ka? Will you go to the party tomorrow? Are you going for the party tomorrow? So, what does Rao-san say? Chotto isogashii no de, I am a little busy. Ikanai kamoshirenai. He could have also said, iku kamoshirenai, ikanai kamoshirenai. I may go, I may not go. So, over here he says, chotto isogashii no de, I am a little busy. Ikanai kamoshirenai. I may not go. It depends. Then look at this picture over here. There is this lady and these two talking. Ano sensei wa Tanaka sensei desu ka? Tanaka sensei kamoshirenai. So, this guy has no idea at all. He is just guessing over here and he is saying Tanaka sensei kamoshirenai. And he could have also said Tanaka sensei da to omoimasu. I think it is Tanaka sensei. If it was 100% positive and this gentleman knew that it was Tanaka sensei? Then the simple answer was hai, so des. That is right. So, that is the difference between to omoimasu and kamoshirenai. That one is 50-50, maybe, may not be 50% this or 50% that, and the other which is to omoimasu is I think, which would be about 80 to 90%. Not very sure, but well, to a great extent. Now, there was this kanji, I have done this earlier, but this is just for you to revise over here, and like this, skau and skai, kata, kata, okay, tsukau. Hai. Then we have oshieru over here like this, oshieru, to teach. Then wakaru or pun or bun, wakaru, wakaru. Then we have kiku, you have done this earlier. This part is mimi, and if you put mimi between these two gates from where you hear through your ears, with the help of your ears, it becomes kiku. Sounds coming from here and here, and you listen. Then we have heya. This is tatsu, which is to stand, and this is kuchi, we all know that. So, then tatsu, kuchi, and then a B, you can make a B over here. Then this is somewhat doa, then like this. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So, this is your heya, he and ya, and then we have omoimasu. This part is kokoro, and this is field, which is ta, Tanaka no ta. Now, there was something that we could not finish last time, and what was that? That was shika. Now, shika means only. It is quite similar to dake. You have done dake earlier, which also means only. Now, over here we are going to do shika, and then I will tell you the difference between dake and shika. So, shika, as is written over here, only or but, indicates lack of everything, that is nothing else but, and is always used with a verb in negative form. So, well, now look at the example sentences here, it is going to make it very easy for you to use shika. Soko wa kuruma shika ikemasen. Iku is ikimasu, go, to go, and ikemasu is can go, potential, ability. So, soko wa kuruma shika, only, and only kuruma can go, nothing else but kuruma can go. So, with shika you will notice in other sentences also that always it is only and only that noun or that activity and nothing else. Soko wa kuruma de shika ikemasen. So, you can only go by kuruma to a certain place, can go only by kuruma, and only kuruma can go over here. The moment you put de, then we are using it for transport. Party ni Rao-san shika konakatta. What does this mean? So, only Rao-san came. No one came except Rao-san. Rao-san was the only one who came. No one else came. Nobody came. You can use another noun over here. Gakusei shika konakatta. Only my students came. no one else came. So now another one over here, party ni 50 nin shika inakatta. That is, in the party only there were 50 people. Party was probably for more people, but only 50 people came. Only 50 and 50 people came, or just 50 people came. So always you will see that verb is always in the negative form when we are using shika. Now we have learnt dake earlier, and you have seen that dake also means only, but there is a difference. Dake describes the situation in a detached or neutral manner. It does not have an opinion, it does not take a stand, whereas on the other hand shika is very emphatic and does have a stand on any situation. Dake is used with verbs in the affirmative, that is positive, and negative sentences both, whereas shika, as you just saw in your previous slide, is only used with verbs in the negative form. That is the basic difference. So let us see with the help of sentences. Party ni 50 nin shika inakatta. Only 50 people were there. Just 50 people were there. Or as is given, nobody but 50 people were there. Not many, but 50 people were there. So probably they expected a larger number, and it is quite disheartening to see that only 50 people came. Party ni 50 nin dake imashita. So only 50 nin came. So well, it is not such a big thing. We expected more, but well, just so many people came. So it is just stating a fact. It is just telling that this is what is there or has happened, without any emotion attached to it. Rao-san dake ga kaigi ni shusseki shita. So only Rao-san came for the kaigi, others did not come. Or Rao-san shika kaigi ni shusseki shinakatta. Except Rao-san, no one came. Rao-san was the only one who came, no one else came. So you can see over here, there is only in case of dake and except or just in case of shika, with some kind of an emotion, some kind of a feeling which is being transferred to the listener. Now there was this sentence in one of your lessons earlier where Oka-san and maybe Meera are talking, and she says, what did you buy? She says, I just bought a dictionary. Oh, you bought so much? And then she says, no, I did not buy so much, this is the only thing that I got. So let us see the difference in dake and shika from here. So waijiten dake o kaimashita. I just bought a Japanese English dictionary. So only that. So the question could be, what did you buy? Nani o kaimashita ka? Nani o kaimashita ka? And she says, waijiten dake o kaimashita. So a very detached answer that only waijiten I bought. Now in this situation, well, your mother thinks that you spend a lot of money. So nani o kaimashita ka? And you tell, waijiten shika kaimasen deshita. That's the only thing that I bought, nothing else, nothing besides this. I did not spend that much money. So this is with emotion. Maybe she is irritated because her mother keeps telling her you buy a lot of things and waste a lot of money. So she says, this time I did not do this. Waijiten shika kaimasen deshita. I did not get anything else except for this. So there could be slight anger, could be slight irritation also. So that emotion comes out with shika. And now if somebody says, ega o mimashou ka? So Rao-san says, watashi wa アメリカの映画しか見ません. So that's the only thing that I watch. Those are the only films that I see. I don't see anything else. So you have a preference also, and you emphatically state that you may do whatever you want, I will only watch this. If you are going to show another film today, then I am not watching. So with Shika always this emphasis on what you are saying is clearly seen. 私はアメリカの映画だけを見ません. So I don't see American films. That's a general statement by somebody else. So now a simple statement. 今日は肉を食べます or 今日は肉を食べません. Today I will not have niku at all. 今日は肉だけを食べます. I will only have niku today. 今日は肉だけを食べません. Today only niku I will not have, rest I will have. Now 今日は肉を食べたい. I want to have niku. 今日は肉を食べたくない. I don't want to have niku. Simple statement. 今日は肉を食べない方がいいです. So there is a reason. It's better that you don't have niku today. Or 今日は肉を食べた方がいいです. It is better that you have niku today. Reasons could be any. N number of reasons could be given. Today maybe the niku is fresh, or maybe lot of guests are coming. For whatever reason, any reason could be given. Then 今日は肉しか食べません. So today I have decided that I will only have niku. That's the only thing I am going to have, rest I will have nothing. So you can see very clearly from here all these sentences. Go over them again and again. Put yourself in that situation, think of that situation, and then see what it is equivalent to in English. And I am sure you will be able to understand very clearly what Shika means. Shika means just, or except, or only, with verbs in negative form. Instead of niku, you can have kohi, kocha, mirku, nihongo, ego, and you will have to change the verb over here. So this is your exercise. Do it, make sentences using this and changing the verb over here. Instead of tabemasen, put something else here. So now another important thing with shika and with dake will always be used after a noun. Shika noun not allowed, noun shika or noun dake. So now we have done enough grammar in all these lectures that we have had, and today I thought that we could keep it a little light. We have practiced lot of kanjis as well. So I have a small game for you. We write a word in kanji, take a kanji from there, think of another word, and then write another word with kanji. Take one kanji from there and think up of another word and write. So this way you learn also, you revise your kanjis, and the visual is also very strong and you can sort of remember them. So let us see what it is. So the visual is also very strong and you can learn kanjis very, very quickly. So let us see. I am sure you know this character. This is iri guchi. Iri guchi. It is given over here. I have purposely not put romaji over here for you so that you can even practice your hiragana. There are some new words with this, and I want you to see the dictionary and find out what these words are. This of course I am sure you will know. This is nishi guchi. This has something to do with the hospital, and this has something to do with the gakko. So find out. Now from here we take guchi or kuchi, and the other reading for kuchi is ko. So what is the word over here? Jinko. jinko, and I am not writing it over here, I will just make jin and ko. This is also hito. Then we have jinko over here, which was in the previous slide, and then from here we take guchi and deguchi. So, like this and deguchi, kuchi turns into guchi. Now, this is a verb, this is also a verb. Find these two. Now, you have deguchi from the previous slide, and over here it is omoide. I did this verb just now with you. Find out what the meaning is. Omoide is memory, as is given over here, and this is also a verb. Figure out what this verb is. I am putting clues over here for you so that you remember, and this is omoide. Ta, that is feel, Tanaka-san no ta. Kokoro, together if you write, it is omou, and already I have given you de over here. Find out what it is. Then from deru or from omoimasu, let us see what we have. He no de, he is nichi or he, and he no de. This is associated with the sun, and this is to leave or to come out. So, what does it mean? Sunrise. So, he no de, coming out like this, he no de, it is sunrise. These are all three new words for you. Find them in the dictionary. We have done all these words in class during your lessons, so you should be able to recognize them now. I am not telling you purposely so that you are able to look up the dictionary and find and then remember. Then hinode, which we did just now in our previous slide. Nihon, of course you all know Nihon, land of the rising sun in English, and the Japanese say where the sun rises first, and this is Nichiyobi, Mainichi. Find these two. This you should know. Nihon. Nippon is also written. On stamps you will see, on a lot of addresses you will see Nippon is written instead of Nihon, but both are used freely. Both are correct. Nihon is Japan. What could this be? Hon jitsu and Hon sha from Kaisha. There was this word earlier, make a hiragana ne like this, kai and sha. So, we have taken the sha from here and hon sha. Hon sha is the main office, the head office, hon sha. Kaisha is company, the office. Then ichinichi ju, you have done this one, ichinichi, one day, all day long, asa, hiru, ban and yoru, all day long. Figure this one out. This I will tell you, this is kaigi chu, kaigi chu. We just had kaigi in our sentences just now earlier, where Rao-san is late, so kaigi chu, while the kaigi is on, during the kaigi. Ichinichi ju, nihonju is another word, nihonju. Figure this one out. Then chu goku, from here we have taken this one, chu goku, China. This is country also, kuni, so chu goku, central country. Over here this is gai koku, gai koku, kuni, koku, these are all readings for this character. So, gai, koku means a foreigner, and this is also soto, which is outside. These kanjis I have covered in class, so go over them. Now, Chugoku has gozen chu, which is for noon. This is go and zen. I am writing in a hurry, so maybe sometimes the stroke order is not correct. So, chu, gozen chu. Zen is also mae and zen. Then we have gozenchu over here from the previous slide, and then we have hito mae. We have taken mae from here, mae, which means in front of. So, hito mae, what does it mean? Presence of other people, hito mae. Then what is this? What is this? These two you can figure out later. What is this? Go zen, which is in the morning, for noon. And what is this? You jin. This kanji is used in tomo dachi. So, this is the kanji for tomo, this one. Tomo. Then we have some more, and jinsei. We take hito from here, and jin is also there. You have done in nihon jin. So, jinsei. Jinsei is life. Gaikoku jin. And sei over here, another word with sei, which probably we have not covered, is sei katsu, life style. Find this one, I use this a lot. If we add go over here, then it becomes honorific. So, try to find the meaning of this character. Then jinsei, and what else do we have? Sensei, you all know. You can also add gakusei over here. So, sei, somebody who is born before you, and what is this? The day before. Find out the word. Now, we have sensei from there. Lot of words are given. This I just told you. Some words are not in your course, some words are. It is just for interest for all those of you who want to do more kanji. They can even look up these words, though they are not in your course in N4. But please remember, I am not doing the kanjis of N4 as such. Whatever kanjis come in the lesson, I try to cover those. By doing that, I think almost all N4 kanjis are covered, but there could be some which are not. Some of you might want to learn more kanji, so well, you can look up these kanjis as well. They are quite interesting kanjis related to these characters and easy to learn. Then we have sen, sen, shu. This character you already know, you have done with tokidoki, sho, sho, isn't it? So, means that the reading of this character is repeated over here. So, sen, sen, shu is week before last. Now, there are some words with sen over here and shu as well. I think I have not done this character, so well, we can just do it very quickly over here. This is shu and this is matsu, which is weekend. So, shu, matsu, which is weekend. Then we have sensen shu and sengetsu. So, nigatsu is the reading, nigatsu, and raigetsu. Raigetsu is next month and Nigatsu is February. Ichigatsu, now this is January. Ichiban, Tsuitachi, Kongetsu, Getsuyobi. All these you have done. Practice these at home. There are many more today. Some you can do at home, some I am doing with you. Ichigatsu is here and then Ichiji kan. So, ji, tokei, find these. Sir did this with you in lecture 35. So, you should know this one. I have not covered these, but well, this could be your homework, and this is Hiru ma. Hiru and ma means afternoon. Now, ningen is a special reading for this. So, hito and this one over here. So, we can go on and on and on, and I am sure for today this much is all right. There are many more to be covered, but well. Yujin, a famous person. Gaijin, foreigner. Nagai aida. And what is this one? Find out. There is more to do in the lesson today, so we can leave the game, and I want to do something different with you. I hope you enjoyed it. You can learn like this, do it on your own at home as well. Take a kanji and try to make another word with the same kanji or one of the kanjis from that word. It will give you good practice and you can learn more kanjis like this and new words as well. So, now I want to show you that we have lot of short forms in Japanese. You have done te mo ii desu ka? This is what we have done, desu ka? Well, te mo ii is also used. It is a short way of asking, informal way of asking permission. So, koyu koto shite mo ii, ima itte mo ii, so with your friends, with people who are in your group, your age, but not with seniors, not in formal situations. Always use te mo ii desu ka, asking permission. Then also you have verb te mite kudasai, kudasai or te mimasu, te miru. So, both can be shortened, yatte mite, so please do, and see, yatte mite kudasai, yatte mimasu, I will do it and see, yatte miru yo, so informal, yatte verb in te form plus miru yo. So, these are all very informal ways you can talk with friends. You just now did kamoshirenai. So, you have kamoshirenai as well, kamoshirenai. Full form, polite, kamoshirenai, informal, shortened form and very informal. Ashita tomodachi no uchi e ikimasu ka? Iku kamo, ikanai kamo. That is also used very informally. Then in your Ahiru no Ko story, we had this wa over here. This is a expression of wa, excitement, interesting, with a long sound. Wa is also a particle which is used by ladies at the end, iku wa or shinai wa, in that manner. But this wa is wa, so showing excitement, and he, so it is an expression where you show that something is strange, it is unbelievable, it is amusing. You hear this a lot and this as well in your animation. So, now you can notice it, and then this I will do with you in your conditional class, where we are going to do tara and ba. So, wait for this for a while and practice this at home. Even if you do not use it, do not try to use it initially till you are comfortable with mass form. Try to keep your conversation in mass form. You can always switch to plain form anytime you want. So, there is a small exercise for you. Do this exercise. Change these sentences using kamoshirenai. And with this, I would like to end today's class. I hope you enjoyed your kanji game, learned some new kanjis, and there is lot of homework for you. There was shika and dake, kamoshirenai. These are things which you use in your daily conversation. Try to do them nicely so that you are very fluent and very comfortable when you are talking. So, with this, thank you very much. Mata ashita aimashou. Arigatou gozaimashita.